Hey guys, Tyler Ansman here with Tyler Ansman Performance. So today we're going to talk about post-throwing recovery and arm care. All right. In kind of the recent past, this has gotten a lot more attention than it's ever really gotten before. There's a whole kind of cottage industry around this. But I think one of the things that's often mistaken is that recovery means doing more, and that's not necessarily what it should mean. Recovery means that we're going to bounce back to baseline a little bit faster than we would if we did nothing. So that's really what we're looking for. So one of the things that's often misunderstood is that immediately post throwing, we're gonna go do X, Y, and Z for the shoulder, elbow, forearm, whatever. And one of the problems with this is these tissues have already been heavily taxed when we've thrown, that by doing more right afterwards, we're not really gonna derive the same amount of benefit as we would if we waited a little bit longer. So today we're gonna kind of dive into the timing of recovery, why we're gonna time it this way, what we should do immediately after post-throwing, and what are some examples of the post-throw exercises that we'll do with our guys after they throw. Immediately post-throwing, just chill. Make sure you hydrate, eat well, and sleep well. Once you've covered these big rocks, you can move on to range of motion restoration and tissue resilience. Generally, we're shooting for about 6 hours or more post-throwing to do these exercises, as Dr. Keith Barr has shown that connective tissue maximally adapts in relatively short windows of time with longer rest periods between. So we're looking at about 10-minute sessions or so, spaced out by about 6 hours. For these connective tissue health sessions, slow tempos are optimal. So many of these movements will be isometrics to strengthen musculature that supports throwing health, such as forearm musculature that supports the UCL and musculature that stabilizes the shoulder. So first up is our forearm isometric series. So first we've got the ulnar and radial deviation iso holds. So a pipe, a PVC loaded at the end, a bat, they can all work here. What we're looking to do on the ulnar deviation is take the pinky to the forearm. All right, so we'll just move there. We'll keep a pretty stiff elbow. And we'll hold that, and then we'll do the exact opposite for the radial deviation. So thumb to forearm, same deal, just trying to move from the wrist. All right, then we'll move on to the pronation and supination iso hold. All right, so we'll go to end range where you can go without the elbow moving medially. All right, so supination especially is a range of motion that'll be kind of restricted in heavy periods of throwing, and guys tend to lose this throughout the season if they don't do work to maintain this. So we really want to make sure we strengthen this end range there, because it does have implications for elbow health. Then we'll move on to wrist flexion and extension. We want to get the band as far as possible out on the extended fingers to also strengthen the finger flexors and extensors. Under kind of utilized musculature here, and this is why you'll see kind of guys with resting posture where their fingers stay flexed a lot of the time. We want to make sure we can kind of really strengthen these fully extended fingers as well. Then we've got the elbow extension iso. So you'll go just beyond 90 degrees with a band. You can use a cable machine here, whatever, but it should be difficult, and you're going to hold that position. And then we'll go to the elbow flexion iso. So almost full extension of the elbow, really at end range there. And we're gonna hold this as well. All of these holds will be about 30 seconds long, and we'll progress the intensity more so as we go than we will the duration. From here, we'll move on to bear crawls. So these will be done in all directions. You want to think about pushing the ground away from you. The serratus anterior is a really important kind of protractor and upward rotator. Should be stimulated well here. From here, we'll go on to T's and Y's. So you want to be mindful not to crank down into the lat. That gets plenty of work with throwing, right? It's one of the main accelerators of the arm. We want to make sure that the Y's, that we're posteriorly tilting the scapula, because this does have implications for kind of how layback is throughout the season. We'll go into hangs from here. All right, so we'll do standard and sideways single arm hangs. So we can get some kind of forearm strength from here as well as kind of strengthening these positions in shoulder distraction. So distraction forces are very high during the throw. So this gives us kind of a time to adapt to that a little bit and really work on the shoulder stability kind of at these end range positions. From here, we'll start restoring some range of motion in specific areas. So we'll go into shoulder cars first. These are controlled articular rotations. So essentially we're going through a full range of motion that the shoulder allows, and we're really going to kind of restore this the day after a heavy kind of high intensity period of throwing. And then after that, we'll go into T-spine rotation. So kind of pick your variation here. But we want to make sure we kind of restore full range of motion there. So this isn't the end all be all in terms of kind of post throwing recovery, but the principles in terms of just kind of relaxing immediately after throwing and not doing these until about 6 hours later are important. And you'll notice we did the range of motion and mobility stuff kind of at the end, and all of the strength work first, because those first 10 minutes are going to be the period of time where you kind of adapt the best in terms of connective tissue. The other piece to this would be that if you were to kind of supplement collagen and vitamin C prior to doing this by about 60 to 90 minutes, that would also be helpful. You can check out the article that I've kind of written on collagen supplementation previously if you're looking for more specifics there. But that would be kind of the main stuff. So kind of stick to these principles when doing the post-throw arm care. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below, reach out via email. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're interested in some guidance in your own career and some help getting to the next level, let us build your program for you. So the way this will work is we'll take you through an entire assessment process, going through your mobility and movement screening. We'll take you through a mechanical analysis as well, based on about 60 points that we've built out to kind of decide where your greatest areas of opportunity are. And then we'll also go through a force velocity profile so we can help build out your strength and conditioning plan. With this in mind, we'll build out an entire plan for you based around all of your kind of areas of need, weakness, and opportunity based on your time of year and working with your current school schedule if that becomes an issue. You'll have access to your coach every day with unlimited text and email support, and a video library for kind of any issues that you have with the movements. We'll also check in weekly to see how your throwing is going, and we will kind of guide you through the entire process. If you're interested in this, shoot us an email or kind of check out the informational page on the website if you have any questions. Thanks.